Where I am now, better than before, through those open doors. Where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place, a tender warm embrace. Where I am now.
It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, Where I Am Now. If you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page or Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton's Facebook page. And guess what? You can see us live right here in WGPL 1350 studio. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to 1400 AM or 1350 AM. And guess what? You can hear us all over the world. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and we say a perfect good morning to you.
Definitely a perfect good morning, Mr. E in the neighborhood.
That's right. Will you be my neighbor?
Well, let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, 95.3 FM and WPCE 1400 AM.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter.
All them.
And shout them out.
Every single one of them.
Later on in the show.
Later on.
Sounds wonderful to me.
Mr. E, what day is it today?
Today is Hump Day! That's what today is.
That's a great hump day. I tell you what, you all should be up and popping. It's the middle of the week.
That's right. It's Hump Day, and everybody should be up and popping like popcorn.
Absolutely. This is also the day after Valentine's Day, and it's our Wednesday segment, What's Under the Hat? Issues concerning men.
Love is in the air. I feel music everywhere.
Love is in the air. We happen to have a wonderful love doctor, Mr. Tony Veer, relationship expert with us this morning. Good morning, Tony.
Yay, good morning to y'all. I'm just so happy I can't stand myself.
I am so excited that we got you on. Everybody that's on with us, viewing us, can see Tony. And it's been a minute, but we are so glad to have you. Always think about you and always think about the advice that you give. We follow you on social media, and we're just so glad that you're here to be able to talk about that love thing today.
Mm-hmm. My
so,
pleasure.
Tony, tell a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Okay, so I'm originally from the South Bronx, New York. I grew up right in the middle of hip hop and R&B. I went to high school with DJ Kool Herc. He probably wouldn't remember me no more. I ain't seen him since then, but I still was there anyhow. And most of the people in my family are in music, but I started coaching people in 2006 because I was in a men's group, and they found out that I knew how to get a girl if I wanted to, and it's like, hey, man, come on, coach me. And they would not leave me alone until I started taking coaching seriously. They just wouldn't.
So, I mean, all of a sudden you discovered that this was your calling. And how did the guys feel about it?
Oh, they loved it. They was wondering, they was getting annoyed with me not getting it quick enough. Like I felt like I was Jim Carrey and Bruce Almighty. Kept getting elbows, hints.
Yeah, but when you discovered it for yourself, how did you feel? Did you say, "Wow, why was this wonderful gift given to me?"
Well, it took me a while to own it, and then it took me a while to love it. And what made me fall in love with it was this: I was in a personal development course on communication, and they had a nickname. It was called Communication Access to Power, but they called it the Love Course as the nickname, right? So I'm listening, and they would send people out on breaks. It was a 2 full day weekend, and then at the end of the breaks, they would tell at the break, tell people to call, and then they would have people come back and say, "Hey, what what you got out of the shares that you call people on your 30-minute break?" So one of the ladies was talking to the course leader. She was speaking in front of everybody, and then she said a couple of sentences. Then she said this one sentence. I wish I remembered the words.
Wow.
What she said made everybody in the room go, "Oh!" It was so much love. Was like I got puffy eyed from listening to it. This was in 2007, and what I realized was that whatever she said, she made love run in the door.
Wow.
And ever since then, I've been looking at what statements, activities makes love run in the door or makes love run out the door.
Oh my goodness.
So ever since then, I started taking this real seriously with my heart out. And the other thing, a couple of months after that, I found out what my life purpose is. The classroom leader in the same program, he says, "Hey, so what's the sacred oath you made with yourself before you was born? And what are you doing about it?" As soon as I heard it, I started to cry because it's like God told me exactly what the sacred oath I made before I was born was to have love present on the planet. And the reason why I cried, because I knew I wasn't doing a damn thing about it. And that's exactly what my brain said, and I ain't doing a damn thing about it. So ever since then, that's what I've been doing.
Well, I tell you what, we want to talk about love and relationships in 2023. But Tony, tell us first how you feel about how relationships thrive through the pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic has been brutal because people can't really face each other that much, and because here's the biggest problem with relationships. Relationships are fundamental. We are designed the same way we were 5,000 years ago before the internet and all of that stuff in terms of dealing with relationships, right? So, you meet somebody, you get excited about them, then you connect with each other, then you commit to each other, and then you have kids and all that. Like that always is going to be the fundamentals of relationships. But what's been throwing us off, especially in the last 120 years, is that circumstances have changed in how you can actually meet with people. So 100 years ago, they would go to the what do you call it? When they would do the different kind of dancing. I forgot. Dad, what's the name of some of those older movies? Yeah, it was before the
drive-throughs and all that, or
there's the drive-throughs, but there was also when they started to do it, there was that dance music, and they would do on ABC. What was that? ABC's music TV show where they would do the swing around dance, they do the twist and all that. Exactly. Yeah, that was one way. A doo-wop, right? So they would go to the things and do their dance and doo-wop and like that. Then later on came disco and people would hang out to clubs. I love me some disco. I'm telling on myself, peeps. And now you don't have any of that stuff. You got to deal with people face to face like this. And they don't know how to trust each other or understand each other. And they lean on the circumstances that they have to deal with dating in relations with. But dating and relationships don't change, just the circumstances change. So how do you adjust to the circumstances is the question.
Well, do you think that, when you said something about the pandemic, do you really think that folks during the pandemic lost their way and really didn't know how to deal with each other because now they stand in front of each other grill 24 hours a day and every day of the week? So how did you think that love spared out?
Well, I'm going to say that people that don't believe in love are the ones that has the hardest problem because they can't trust anybody. They don't know how to qualify people. That's the biggest problem in all of the relationships thing. So I found out that there's 9 stages to the dating process. I'll share them with you. So the 9 stages are greetings. Well, actually preparation. You got to prepare before you go out, prepare before you meet somebody. Then there's prospecting. You're looking around to see. And that's the biggest problem people think that we have is how to find the right person, where to prospect. Third is to start a conversation. Fourth is to get related. Fifth is to qualify them, which is the biggest problem fundamentally, because if I can't figure you out, I don't know if this is going to work or not. Then 6 is to present myself. So I want to make sure that I present myself so that I qualify to you, right? Then there's overcoming objections, because there's likely going to be some. Then there's closing the deal. And then there's upselling, like what we're going to do next, right? So people don't realize that the dating process is really the selling process, the sales process. So you got to know how to prepare. You got to know how to prospect. You got to know how to qualify.
Yes.
Because
and see, that was one of my, yes, go ahead.
If you don't know how to qualify, then you ain't going to know how to overcome objections.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Is there a technique or formula to finding love?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I would say is to recognize what your hobbies are, not habits, what your hobbies are. Find your favorite hobbies, 1 or 2, and just hang out there. And the people who have the same hobby, that's your most likely opportunity to meet somebody that's actually a match for you. Because one of the things that happens in relationships is 2 people get together and they may speak the same love languages, right? The 5 love languages, but they don't live the same kind of life. And so even though they talk the same kind of way, they communicate love together, but they live in 2 separate lives, then they just end up not being together because they can't stand, hey, you don't want to do what I'm doing. Why am I all alone all of a sudden? They become friends with benefits. And then as time goes on, the benefits shrink.
Can you tell us what men want in a relationship in particular?
Yes. What men want more than anything else is to be acknowledged, admired, and to be treated the way they want to be treated.
Say that again.
To be acknowledged, to be adored. I forget the other word I said. Loved, acknowledged, appreciated, and treated the way they want to be treated, not the way you want to treat them or you think they should be treated.
Wow.
Well, Tony, when you're in a relationship, do your partner must know who you are so that they can treat you the way that you want to be treated, not just a one-sided relationship. They feel do what they ask they want you to do, and not learning how to treat you like you wanted to be treated.
Mr. E, you touched on probably one of the 2 biggest problems in all of relationships. So the 2 biggest problems is not knowing who you are and not knowing what love really is.
Wow. Yes.
So the problem with not knowing who you are is people don't know that they don't know who they are. It's a double blind spot. It's like you don't know how to do brain surgery, but you don't know how to do brain surgery. But if you were back in Julius Caesar's time, you wouldn't even know what brain surgery is. Forget about the computer. So you couldn't know what to do about it, and you didn't know that you didn't know, right? So what ends up happening is you only have 2 types of relationships in this sense. You have 2 people who know who they are, and they can see that the other person knows who they are. And they're like, oh man. So they can see each other. They know themselves, and they know when everybody else knows who they are. And so they blend themselves together, and they share their love with each other, and they share their happiness with each other because they know that the other person is responsible for their own happiness. And also they can see themselves in the other person. They can see the other person can see who they are. So they don't got to worry about, do you understand me? Because they know themselves and they know each other. So that's the one relationship. Then the other relationship is 2 people who don't know who they are, and they don't know that they don't know. And so they choose somebody, and then they wonder why the other person ain't making them happy when they don't even know it's not their job. It's not a burden. It's your job. And so somebody who knows who they are and they talk to somebody who does not, they be like, yeah, you're not ready. Because they're not going to put up with the burden of trying to make you happy when you don't even know how to make yourself happy.
Absolutely. Now, sometimes we have a dialogue on the show about men and what they want, and a lot of people come to the conclusion that men don't necessarily ask for what they want. How can men ask and get what they want in a relationship?
The only way a man going to get what he wants in a relationship is he needs to see that the woman can do it. Number one, he needs to see that the woman can actually tell that she can do it. He needs to see the quality of her character, because when men ask women for stuff, most of the time, what y'all say is fine.
That's
right. And so that's one of the scariest things a woman can say to a man. Fine. we know that ain't fine.
And so do you think that when men go to requesting, or some ladies would like for men to say what they want or make hints about what they want, do you really think when in relationship that he's dropping hints all through the whole course of the year, but they have not really paid any attention to, or do they need to write down everything?
Ooh, I got something even better than that. So what both men and women need to understand is how we communicate. And how we communicate. And so what we don't realize is that we don't communicate until we have a thought centered, locked into our brain. And so we have a style of communication that we don't know about. But I discovered this in the last few years. And so I discovered that we have what I call the 5 realms of communication. The 5 realms of communication are the exact words we use. Number 1. Number 2, in no particular order. Number 2 is the reason why we spoke in the first place, what we're responding to. Number 3 is the results we want to produce. Number 4 is how we feel. And then number 5 is the exact image or context we have in our head, because what's in our head is different from everybody else's in our head, right? So because those things, we speak all of those from the time we was a baby, we was talking that all that way, but we don't listen anyway, and maybe we listen one way or 2 ways max. But we don't know this, so we don't know what to listen for and how, right? So what happens is most men, we listen from the result we want to produce and what made us speak in the first place, because we're results producers, right? We Mr. Fix-Its, right? And then women speak from the particular image in their head and how they feel.
Yeah.
And so we got 2 different conversations going. She's talking about feelings, he's talking about results. And then she's wondering why he's paying attention to her feelings. And he's wondering why she listening to him so he could fix her problem. And then now you got a problem.
Yes. Well, tell me why couples, and I know women are accused of this a lot, mind reading. You can't read my mind, or they think that you can read their mind. Somebody's not saying something or communicating, and they think each other are mind readers.
Oh my God, I just so love that you're asking these questions. So here we go. So how men and women's brains are wired is different, right? I don't remember which side which, but men has their brain focused on one side, the logical side, and women on the emotional side, right? Yeah. And so what ends up happening is people can't read each other's minds, but the way, if they understood each other, they wouldn't have to try to read. They just would listen and then be able to pay attention, right? So men can see how women feel. We can see when a woman's losing her mind and all of that stuff, but we don't know what to do about it.
That's right.
Now, on the other side of the coin is that women can't really see how we feel, but y'all know what to do about it. So y'all do stuff to make us feel the way you want us to feel in that moment. Wow. And then you're okay. So we got like 2 sides of the coin. It's like incomplete, right? He can see how we feel, but don't know what to do. She can't see how she feels. So she gonna make him feel the way she wants, at least for that moment, so she can manipulate him.
Tony, I was just thinking, and when it comes to gift giving for men, why does men always get those Dollar Tree, dollar store gifts like screwdrivers, high karate cologne, old Spice? Why they just give us socks with Christmas trees on it and saying that's a great gift? Does men need to say to the ladies, this is what I want, for a gift, or do they really think that men qualify for expensive gifts?
Oh my God. I'm sorry. Before I answer that, I got to tell you, you just brought up a horrible memory.
Wow.
Horrible.
Tell us.
Oh my God. So I grew up in Reverend Ike's church. I know y'all know who that is.
Ah, yes.
Yes. And I used to work on the spotlights in the balcony. My mother was his executive assistant for 10 years. So in my first 6 months on the balcony, there was a woman on the other side of the balcony. Her name was Loretta. And I just adored Loretta. Like, I wanted to just eat her skin off. I just really, and she knew it, but she wasn't into that, right? But she knew that I liked her, so she would, take advantage of me. I call her a gold digger. From September of that year, I was 15. September until Christmas, we would go out on lunch once in a while. I would treat her to lunch, and then she would tell me she wanted these gold bangles for Christmas. At the time, it was like $30. So at the time, I think minimum wage was like $2 an hour or something. It was crazy, right? So, okay, fine. And so I'm thinking if I get her this, she's going to like me, right? So for Christmas, the Sunday after Christmas, I give her the gold bangles. And she's happy, and I'm like, and then she gives me a gift. I didn't even ask for the gift. I was like, okay, let me look at this gift. It was an Old Spice soap on the rope gift.
Oh, not the Old Spice.
I lost my mind because a few days before that, I saw the price. It was like $2.39 or something, and she wanted a $30 thing in the 1970s. I got so pissed off, I threw it at her, I cursed her out, and I said, listen, F you, and the rest you wrote in on. I ain't talking forever again. Leave me alone. And I ignored her for 6 months. Oh, my God.
Well, Tony, I blame you all. You all have spoiled women throughout the years. I mean, like, hey,
I was 15. I was 15. How was I supposed to know? So anyhow, but let me finish that. Let me finish that thing. So because men don't say what they want, women give you whatever. Because we're scared to say what we want. Because if we say something you don't like, and you don't like it, then we hear fine, and we in trouble. So we just
where you get that from? Where you see that at?
So look, Dr. Tony Beard, tell us how people are now dating and they're using apps and all kind of things. How can people find love on the internet, but how can they also stay safe?
Yeah. So again, number one thing is knowing how to qualify somebody. Got to know how to identify their BS. Do they know who they really are?
Yes.
That's the first thing, because when they're saying stuff just to be liked, it might work, but that's scam artistry. That's pickup artistry on the man's side. On the woman's side, she's over there looking to get safety and security, and so she ain't even being straight with herself. So if you can't be straight with yourself, how are you going to figure out anybody else? Not possible. Yes. So you got to be straight with yourself. And then that way, it makes it easier for you to see whether anybody else is being straight or not. I talk to people. I remember one time in one of my Facebook things, this woman was trying to indirectly hit me. And so she said something like, this guy wasn't paying attention to me. So you should figure him out. You should pay attention to him. She said, no, he should pay attention to me. I was like, you just disqualified yourself from ever. I wasn't trusting you anyhow, but when you said that, you just threw yourself away.
Oh my goodness. How about, go ahead.
I'm going to say, if somebody don't know who they are, leave them alone, because they're going to put all the burden of their happiness on you. No.
Yeah. So staying safe, at least try to find out who this person is, look deeper, and don't be so trusting. You just can't trust. You got to find out who folk are. But also,
and by the way, don't forget what you're going to say. But the other thing is that when people tell you who they are the first time, believe them. Because people tell on themselves because they don't know how you're going to feel about it. So they're just saying their thing. And I've had that happen a few times. I was like, okay, I got the lesson now, God. Thanks. Please don't do that again. Okay. Go ahead now.
Well, Tony, the advice that you're giving both male and female, we just had Cupid Day. We just had a Valentine's Day. And do you really think that men supposed to get gifts, or should men should be just one sided and give gifts?
A she thing, a he thing, or a we thing?
Well, it should be a we thing, but generally speaking, it is a she thing where he takes care of her. But what happens is women don't realize how much power they have in the area of romance, because women inspire men to be romantic. If men are not inspired, if she don't make him feel inspired, impressed, honored, then he's not going to honor her back, because when men give gifts 90% of the time, especially when they're not consciously happy, they're just expressing their gratitude for your gratitude to them. There's a saying that receiving is giving to the giver. When you give somebody something, they receive it like happily, it's as if they just gave you a gift back.
Wow. Yes.
So when a woman gives a man honor, pleasure, respect, acknowledgement in the regular day of the week, she expresses her feelings in ways that makes him happy, he's going to return the favor with some love gifts.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how we do it. You can't help it. She makes me feel so good. Yeah, honey. That's how it goes.
Yes. I'll tell you what, this is our segment about men. What are single men doing? And give us some advice give single men a little bit of advice about dating or that love thing.
Okay. The best advice I can give men is you got to own who you are, meaning you can't be wimpy. You can't be sorry. You got to be like the man you were born to be. There was a time in your life where you was really who you are. And I'm not saying that you're going to be able to get anybody, but when you own who you are, you can get many bodies.
Wow.
Many bodies. I like that.
Many bodies. Yes.
Right. And then you can choose which one is the best one for you. But you're not somebody that's good for every single person on the planet. Just because you talk to them don't mean that they're there for you.
Good point. Mm-hmm.
But if you're not confident in yourself, the right one is going to smell your confidence. Or even better, when you're confident with yourself and you don't doubt that it's going to happen, all of a sudden the spirit might walk over to you and tap you on the shoulder and say, there she is.
Are there classes for men to learn how to be, better guys, better, lovers, better, better in relationships? Are you doing anything?
Yes, I have. Yes. And you know what? I'm glad you said that, because I'm going to have to give you the information, because I was thinking about it, but not that much. So I have two courses. I have a course for both men and women called The Anatomy of Dating.
Wow.
When I talked about the 9 stages of the dating process, I teach them how to navigate each of the 9 stages. But for men, if any man wants to do this with me, and I want to do it with at least 3 to 5 men at the same time, so that men can learn from each other as well as from me.
Yes.
Then what I would also not just do the anatomy of dating, but I got another one called just for men. It's called What Women Want from Men But Can't Tell Them.
Ooh, that's great.
Wow.
Yes, because women are worried, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, that if a man if they tell a man what they want and a man does it, they can't trust that he really meant to do it. They might think that he's trying to manipulate them. So they'd be like, sure. So they don't say nothing. And then if he does it, now they can trust that he really meant it, because he came out of his heart when he to do it. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Yeah.
But look,
that's why. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Tony, go ahead and give your contact number. We're going to keep you on, but we need to give the contact to our live listeners.
Yes. My contact information is my phone number. Call me direct, but text me first so that I know you ain't spamming me. 347-409-3500. 347-409-3500. Text me first. Tell me that you was listening to me. And then you can either reach me on my Facebook page. I have a page called the Relationship Mastery Institute. That's my business. And so you could inbox me, message me there, and let me know that you heard it and tell me what you thought. Or you can email me at thetonyveershow@gmail.com, because I'm entertaining, so that's why it's the Tony Veer Show.
Okay, so Tony, hold on for a minute. We're going to end this segment. You all be blessed. We'll see you back here on Fun Friday.
better than before. Through those open doors where I am now.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Avery, the co-host. If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor, all you have to do is pick up the telephone and give us a call at area code 757-714-7861. That's 757-714-7861. Our inboxers at Edward Everett Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page, or email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on WGPL 1350, Peace 95.3, and WPCE 1400, and all social media.
I grew up making
All right. Everybody, the mic open. Oh, wow. Tony, thank you so much for being on. We just want to keep you a few more minutes. Is your mic open so we can hear you? Mr. E, Mr. E
you got your mic open, Mr. V. He jumped up.
Oh, okay. All right, Tony. Maybe he'll come back up here. But anyway, it's open. Something is open. Let's see. But anyway, look, you all, thank you so much for joining us. Mr. E, your mic.
I don't need to open my mic.
Okay.
I'm right in the room.
Okay, hold on. Let me see what's going on. Can you all hear me? You all let me know in the chat if you can hear me. I want to say thank you so much, Tony. Tony just slipped away, and but anyway, we want to thank him for being on and say blessings to you for bringing us all that information and wisdom. And he's been in it for a minute. Mr. E didn't get a chance to talk about his love life, his Mr. Tony's love life. Mr.
No, I didn't get a chance to talk with Mr. Tony Villa about what's going on in his life.
Yeah.
Because I know Mr. Tony Villa, he is the love doctor, the love guru.
Yes.
And sometimes when you are in your profession, one of the hardest things is to talk about the profession of somebody else that's in it. I want to say good morning to Miss Sheila Robbins, Miss Christy Pattyfield, Miss Jakina Denise.
Jakina.
And Miss Lawanda Tillett. Good morning to you. Miss Roberta Carter, I miss you. Miss Friana Huff, I miss you. Sheila Davis, good morning. Miss Roberta Carter, I thought you would be up here, but I haven't seen you in a minute.
Wow. Yeah. So look, so glad to see all you all. Jakina says, acknowledged, admired, adored, appreciated, and treated the way they want to be treated. 100. This goes for women as well. I hope you all had a wonderful Valentine's Day. I mean, it's a day full of giving and love. You should have seen all the balloons and things in the dollar stores and the cards and in Walmart and all these places, candy and teddy bears. It was just so cute. But it is a we thing. It's a time, when people share a special time, special love, do special things. People that I talked to, Mr. E, they were doing all kind of special things like planting gardens and cooking and, just getting out the box of just the normal, give a gift and things. Some people said that it's a day, everyday thing for them, that love is every day for them. So they don't have to sit back and do anything real special. Then I had someone say yesterday that, their spouse is like, hey, let's keep the money in our pockets. We can do the love thing, but the money stays in our pocket. Don't buy no gifts. And so you got so many different reactions, but we do acknowledge that it is a beautiful time, a beautiful day, and it's good to experience and to celebrate love.
Ms. Hinton, when we talk about that, the gifts that should be given should be gifts that is memorable, that can bring joy, not just a gift of just giving, it should be a memorable gift that they can sit around and have it around for a long time, and they can always reflect back on it and think about what's popping, what's going on with it, and how they might be feeling, and how that gift made them feel, at that time.
How about treating the person right? That's the best gift in the whole wide world. Treat me right, respect, and you keep your gifts. If you don't do that, I don't want your gifts. Make sure that the gift is handed with love and care and respect and all that stuff. I mean that means more to a person than anything else. Christy Pettyfield, how you been doing, young lady? What's going on? I've been trying to get with you. I think I inboxed you. I'm not quite sure if you received it yet, but would love to talk with you, see how everything is panning out in your world. Sheila Robbins, Sweet Pea, how you doing? Sheila Davis is up here. Fiona Huff was styling that beautiful hat yesterday, Delta Tam on her head. It was just so cute. She looked so adorable. And Tracy Porter's up here too. Man, so many people. Yolanda, let's see who else. So yeah, it's just so many folk up here that thank you so much for joining us. A lot of ladies are up here. And so we're just glad that the Love Doctor has gotten a chance to speak with us and giving us advice. You all check him out, Tony Beer, Bear. He's on Facebook, and he has from time to time things on Facebook, little seminars and things, workshops for that love thing and for couples and special occasions. So you all check him out. Mr. E, how did you feel about Valentine's Day? How was your Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day, Miss Hinton, was a great day. It was a great day. I felt wonderful about Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is a set aside. When I looked at it, it's a religious Valentine's Day. It's been set aside for celebration back in the days of old with Saint Valentine. So now Saint Valentine is no longer there. Now it's Valentine's Day, and it's commercialized. It's a chance for merchants to make extra coins, and which Valentine should be an everyday thing.
Yeah, but give you a chance to celebrate love and your sweetheart. Miss Diane Carter, how you doing? She said, "Good morning, love you guys. God is so good." And yes, he is.
So how was your Valentine's Day?
I had a wonderful time, but I did a lot of working on Valentine's Day. I was like, oh my God. After I thought I was going to bed. I had to get up suddenly around 12 and do some work. It was just like, Lord have mercy. I had to send some information over to an agent, but other than that, it was really, really nice. It was beautiful. It was, I love the idea of love and, giving gifts and things like that. Our Young Women Achieving Success program, which you all girls can be a part of, 10 to 17 years old, we're going to be celebrating today. This is our official day we get together. And so the girls are going to get a chance to just have a nice time, have a few gifts, and just appreciate them and let them have that sisterhood and that fun that we're going to have on this evening. So we're still celebrating.
I'm in agreement with Miss Denise. She said love should be celebrated 365 days a year, not just on February 14th, a day the world has set aside to commercialize love. It should be every day. It should be a day where you celebrate, those who you have in your life, those who have been your ears and your eyes and had your back. It should be an everyday thing, not just one day a week. Go all out and help the merchants make money. The restaurants got big money on expensive food, and when you go there on Sunday, you still spend the same amount. It was just a day of remembrance.
Wow, it was a beautiful day. Yes, I got showered with a lot of wonderful gifts and all that good stuff. It was really nice. It was really, really a beautiful, beautiful day. So, so anyway, we want you all to get back with us on Fun Friday because we have special guest, Joseph Williams. And we're going to be talking about Black history. We don't want to leave that out. We've been talking about love, that love thing throughout the Month, but Black History, we have some special guests that's going to talk to us about the history of their family history, and how far we've come. We still have the facts,
That's right.
Black History facts for you all, and we're just going to keep celebrating.
That's right. And that's what we do. We celebrate and bring you nothing but the very best and all the great information that is needed for your information to help you to rise above mere survival. That's what
Yes.
FYI is all about. Bring you nothing but the very best. Things that you would never ever had known or would have ever thought about. Great information, that you would have never seen before in one's life. So these are
Mhm.
comments, listening to your comments and looking at what you have to say. And you would have never had the opportunity to go nationwide or to go on live and to let folks know your feelings. So that's what
Yes.
we all about. Bring you nothing but the best.
Absolutely. Now, some of our upcoming shows, like I said, our Black History Month. We're still doing sports talk. We're covering the
That's
NBA.
right. That's right.
Also on Mondays at 6 p.m. Please don't forget to check us out. We have a great group of folk coming on our Mondays at 6 p.m. In the evening, our After Dark show. If you want to be a special guest, Missy, we're going to give you some information on how you can do that. Also, let's see who else is coming on. We have Miss Katrina Burns. She's a single lady,
That's right.
and we're going to talk about being single in 2023 and some of the expectations and trying to find love and exist. As a single woman and young single woman. In this society, in this world. Let's see who else, Mr.
Mr. DC James will be our special
Yes.
guest on the 22nd of this month. He will be talking about, and not only that, for Black History, DC
Yes.
James is the head coach, better known as the head coach.
Yeah.
And then we have
Miss Patricia Turner.
Patricia Turner, who is the
Norfolk
one of the
17.
17, Norfolk
Yes.
17, who had to go across the barrier to go into one of
Yes.
the all white schools. So she's gonna be our special guest.
Absolutely. Don't forget serving that tea. We're going to be serving that tea and also continuing to talk about what's under the hat. Also, we have Sean Cunningham, an artist, and he's an anti bullying advocate. He's going to be on our After Dark show as well. And we're going to have, we just have some great topics. Wonderful thing about it,
Cynthia Hall
Cynthia Hall will be there on February the
13th
13th. Wait a minute, this is
after dark.
no, this 13th is gone.
No, March the
Uh-huh,
13th.
we
Yeah.
have March. We're filling up our March calendar. So you all be a part of that as well. Also follow us on social media. We need you all to come and like and share and tell people about the show. Subscribe to our channels, on YouTube and all other social media um, platform. Please, 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 and please. And don't forget, Young Women Achieving Success. We have that program. We're on Wednesday, 6 p.m. in Chesapeake. Please tell parents and the school and all those folk that we love to hear from them.
And it's a free program.
It's a free program.
All young ladies that want to be to educate, to have someone that they can talk to.
Yes, a sisterhood.
You ought to be a participant. You ought to partner with, come out and be a part of such a great program.
All right. Bullying is right underneath your nose. It's in Spanish, it's in English, it's in Audible, it's in ebook. You all can go online and get the book and support. We got some other things coming up real soon with our anti-bullying movement and some other items that it's going to be really nice for kids and for families. So look for those things coming to the Royal Ladies Pie.
That's right.
We're going to do a launch, and so you're going to see what's going to happen. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. Excuse me. But the Royal Ladies Pie is just on the move, and I'm so thankful about that. So you can be a special guest sponsor intern with FYI Radio Show. Mr. E's going to give you the tea.
And all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861 or inbox us at whatever's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton's Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page. Or you can email us on FYI Radio Show live at gmail.com and let us know, hey, look, I would love to be a sponsor or a special guest of the most talked about radio show in the whole world. Wednesday and Friday from 9:30 to 10 on AM in the daytime, and on Monday nights at 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. on Monday nights. You don't want to miss what we got coming on, and that's where we can air out all the dirty laundry in the whole wide world.
I tell you what, I want to say good morning to my beautiful daughter, Crystal Hinton. My son, I don't see him on it, but I saw her. Good morning. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. You all be blessed. Thank you so much for your support. Please meet us back here at 9:30 on Friday for some fun, for serving that tea and more. Be blessed. Enjoy your day.
And have a wonderful, wonderful hump day. All right? 2 up, 2 down, VA.